Hello everyone and welcome back to PandTha Talks.
Hello again.
Yeah, as you noticed I didn't say a number because I'm unsure. I'm thinking it's
Episode
episode 50.
50.
Yeah.
The big 50.
We're at the big 50 mark. Which is the most bizarre because usually when we hit like a major 10 milestone, we usually have like a big week. I have no news stories at all.
It is the end of the year, my friend, so there's not really a whole lot of news going around.
No, it's quite bizarre to be honest. In a bit of weird PandTha Talks, just regular news, I've almost stopped smoking entirely, and I've got 2 days to have my last couple of cigarettes. So happy days.
Technically, like 30 hours, man.
I'm not counting the hours. You are.
Which is barely over a day.
You're the one counting here, not me.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be celebrating.
You celebrating New Year's all the way from Ireland.
No, not New Year's. Just you stopping smoking.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, I do have a tad bit of things I'd like to discuss because I just think, as a general rule, it's something that I think would be interesting to discuss. Mainly due to something you mentioned beforehand, actually, before we started the episode this week, which is about Tarkov and cheating in online games. There's probably going to be a few other bits, but to be honest, it's more going to be a discussion this week than a look at what's in the news and what can we say about this.
Yeah.
But it's the last episode of the year, so let's make it a fun one.
Sounds good to me, Chief.
Sounds good.
So, what do you want to start with
I want to start with Tarkov.
then?
The reason for this is, you probably don't know this, but recently they released a game called Tarkov Arena, which is basically Tarkov's entire set of mechanics, except you spawn in with a dedicated loadout and you try and kill the other team before they kill you. Now, the premise works well because Tarkov's gunplay systems are phenomenal. The mechanics for the guns are really good.
It didn't start off great.
No, they did not. But
you move a single muscle in your body, and all of a sudden your bullets are going left, right, and center.
Oh yeah, but nowadays their gun mechanics are like second to none to a lot of fucking games. Anyways, what they fucked up in my opinion, is they added Tarkov's health system, which basically means you take a slight hit to your head, you can die by taking 35 damage. You can obliterate someone with about 40 shots, like I did, and they'll take about 400 damage, but because you didn't kill off one of their major organs or whatever else, they're still alive and you're dead.
Yeah.
Tarkov's health.
That's one thing that really bugged me about the game is just how easy it is for you to die and how annoying it can be to kill enemies.
Yeah. Their health system does not work well with an arena-style combat game.
Yeah.
The arena...
It generally doesn't make sense, their health system.
No.
You literally lose all 4 limbs. You crawl your way to a corner and you just patch yourself up on the field. It's swat.
Oh, yeah.
A few staples here, a few staples there. Attach that leg back on with a couple of staples here.
Oh, right, yeah, 100%. Well, I'm sorted now to
you
go
take
back.
A measly little bit of damage to the head, and that's it. You're gone.
Yeah, you get headshot, you are done. And I don't know if you know this bit, Tarkov has like a major cheating problem as well. Because
I did used to see quite a lot of cheating, but I don't see much TikToks about Tarkov anymore. I usually just skip right over them.
The reason for that is because what happened on Tarkov is they did mass ban waves. You know where most games ban wave a couple hundred. No, Tarkov took out about 6,000 players simultaneously.
God.
And this was like, they did this like 2 or 3 times.
I'm sure that made the servers take a shit for a minute.
Fucking hell did it. They took the servers down while they did it, so then everyone tried logging back in for the brand new updates, and all of a sudden, I can't log in, I've never cheated, I swear.
No,
All over the forums.
Yeah.
But because they're still using the same engine and the same systems for Arena, the cheats will work straight off the bat, which is problematic.
See, what gets me about cheating is whilst people who are cheating get banned fairly quickly, or well, you hope they do, and
Yeah.
it's usually fairly severe, as in typically perma. What bugs me is association doesn't get the same severity, because there's not much difference. If you're playing with a cheater, like what's the difference of you cheating yourself? You're one of you cheating. They're cheating. You should get the same punishment that the guy who has the cheats gets. You shouldn't be given a second chance.
I can understand that to an extent.
If you were consciously aware,
yeah,
this person is cheating. Like, say you've had them on your friends list for years. There's proof that you've played multiple games together. Say you have similar hours and a lot of games, and it's obvious that like you are clearly friends, like of good caliber. You should definitely be perma banned for association. If there's not enough evidence, sure, but if there's like solid evidence, you should receive the same level of punishment.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if by those rules, realistically, I would be banned again on Grand Theft Auto Online. Because a friend of mine, you've probably spoken to him once or twice, a guy called Reese, who I know in real life, he ended up using hacks on GTA Online. Now, we didn't know. We had suspicion, but we couldn't prove it. We asked him about it. He gave answers that basically swept it under the rug. We took them as truth because there's no reason to not believe him. And it turns out the next wipe, the next update, he got fucking banned and all his fucking account was wiped. Which, by the way, have happened 3 times to me on GTA Online, all because hackers drop money on me. You actually get banned for that. That's fun.
That's kind of them.
So I actually had to buy the game again, just so I could play online with my friends when they wanted to play it back then.
Getting money, I guess.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, that kind of fucked me over twice. The 3rd time was me. I will hold my hands up. That was me. The first 2 times was not, but that's mainly because the first 2 times, the first time they wiped my account, then I got money from a hacker that got me permabanned. The 3rd time, I was starting fresh. All my friends were like level 90, so I was like, fuck that. And then I got my account wiped a 3rd time. So I just went, fuck this, I'll just do it legit and just fucking soldiered through. So yeah.
They have systems in place for it.
Oh, GTA don't. GTA's online system, it's basically created in such a way.
Let's not talk about Rockstar's online experience for their games.
It's created in a way to manufacture money. That's all it is. What do you want for Christmas, kiddo? I want some shark cards. Yeah, of course you do.
I want my 5th version of GTA 5 Online, please. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry, I hacked the first 7.
Well, that doesn't add up.
The math does not math. But no. Going back to Tarkov anyways, I just realised we jumped straight through.
It tends to happen.
It does. With Tarkov, the arena system, it's actually got some really good arena mechanics. Things that I've not seen before from an arena game. So, as an example, one of the things they did that I quite liked was they proceeded to make it so that in the arena you have so much time to wipe out the enemy team. If you don't wipe out the enemy team within, like, let's say 2 minutes on this map, then it will go down to unlocking an objective. Now, you have to get to that objective or kill out the entire team, capture the objective or kill the entire team, or it goes down again another minute 30. If that a minute 30 drops, then they send out AI scavs, which are brutal cunts, and they will kill you.
I mean,
The
some of them in
best,
Tarkov are like difficulty, man.
mate, the best clutch I saw while playing Tarkov Arena in beta was some guy on our team, who last guy alive, the enemy team had 2 guys left. He knew he was fucked. He was blacked out on all limbs. He laid in a corner, just healing up. The scavs never found him. The scavs executed the enemy team. We won the round.
You see, that would just be annoying.
Oh, but the thing is, they could have still captured the objective while the scavs were there, but they just didn't. They were too afraid to check the objective, so they just fucking took the death.
I would get annoyed though. Like you're playing the PvP game, and all of a sudden the AI comes and kills you. It's kind of like, well, it's not really PvP then, is it? It's dead to bots.
Well, that's because it's not a PvP game, it's PvPvE.
Bah. If it's called Arena, I'm just gonna assume it's PvP.
Well, you see, that's the major issue. Assumptions.
Say what you will.
Oh, fuck. Throwing things. Good idea. But now, Tarkov Arena, it's got a good concept. They just need to take that health system and do away with it and just go on a number-based system, or just a fucking... You've got a set amount of health for your total body, that's it. Hitting certain amounts of body does certain amount of health damage. Problem solved. Well, you'd think so, but here we are.
Yeah, it works for some games, doesn't for others, that kind of system.
Yeah, it's like with older games. I don't know if you know of this concept. It's known as hit scan and bullet travel.
Yeah.
You know about them then?
Oh, yes.
Fantastic. So, hit scanning, for people that don't know, is an older concept that we used to use in video games. And it's because it was a lot more difficult back then to program games where bullets would travel to their target. So
They would have velocity, they'd drop, they would slow down over time, or they'd
Oh, yeah.
travel just at a certain speed. So you'd have to judge your shots.
Exactly. So due to this, what would happen is effectively you would have in hit scan, if you saw someone and shot the bullet, that bullet is going to hit them no matter what because they were in your crosshairs when you fired. Nowadays,
So there was no time for the bullet to travel or anything. At the moment you shot, the bullet was instantly there.
see, that was the other weird thing. Because I remember back in when this was a major thing, you would have times where there was still travel, but it would just basically like track to them. It was only like a second or a millisecond, but it was there. It was such a weird time of gaming. But nowadays, because of the travel system, we don't worry about it as much. But some days you'll pick up like the occasional indie title that's got shooting in it. And dear God, the hit scanning. You're just sort of there like, how did we go through a time when this was a major thing? What's going on?
In fairness, though, the games that have actual bullet travel, you know, when you're up close to each other, it may as well be hit scan. You know.
True. It's like firing a shotgun point blank, you know. You guarantee to hit. You're not really going to be missing that shot, are you?
Provided you're on target.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going like 10 feet above his head, then you're a bit of a moron, but here we are.
I mean, he might have a fat head, man.
That's one fucking large head, man. I'm fucking telling you that for free.
He's big brain, dude, you know?
Very,
IQ.
very. Yeah, fucking massive IQ.
It's not
2
always
times.
an advantage.
No. But reason I mention this is because a lot of the cheating clients out there, the way a lot of it feels as though you're being hit scanned. which is why a lot of people can recognize it when they see it happening through like kill cams and things. You just
Yeah.
sort of there like, I just got shot instantly, or it fucking seemed as though they were perfectly on target, but I was behind cover. The fuck?
Oh, that's
And,
desync right there.
oh, I know.
That's a whole other
Oh,
discussion, man. Wow.
honestly,
Oh.
online games are horrific for
Do you
this
wanna
shit.
do you wanna know the nice part about Rust, man? When you
What's
check
that?
your combat log, there's obviously the information of the attacker, the target of the attacker, the ID, the gun they used, the distance, the HP you were before you got shot, the HP you were after you got shot, and then there's a lovely little one at the very end of this list of information called desync. And oh boy, the amount of those that are over 100 is
Fucking hell.
wild. Like
See,
you can tell when you get shot around a corner in games, and in Rust you can confirm it. And the amount of times that you die while you're either behind cover or like fully around the corner, it's crazy, man. Honestly.
that sounds it. I mean, I ended up, what was it now? Battlefield 2042. I actually have a log on that because it's in the settings. You can turn it on, and you can see how much damage you take and how much damage you do to the enemy.
Yeah, that's all in
Just
combat log for Rust. It's
yeah,
honestly it's a really nice feature.
I have the exact same thing on my display at all times, so I can
Yeah.
see and keep track of it. Basically, it's
Well, with Rust, there's
so much better.
a 10-second like update period, so like you can't see it straight away, so you don't
Ah,
know this information on hand. You know.
yeah, I have. I pretty much have it all on hand, but it's just insane to see the information just there. It's like, wait a minute. So this guy just managed to headshot me from 900 meters away, no fucking issue, no problems at all. How? Oh right, yeah, he was
It's
banned in a fucking wipe. That explains it.
the thing about older games. Going back to that is when there were like a lot of kill cam stuff. That's when you used to get like the perfect like visual of how you died,
Yeah,
and just question like how someone killed you when you're like 10 feet past around the corner,
yeah.
which doesn't make sense. And then you see their perspective, and on their end, you never went around the corner because they're on 700 ping playing different servers. And you're just sitting
Oh.
there thinking to yourself, just wondering how and why.
How and why this is fair. Yeah, I know the feeling. Still
It's
remember the old days of when you and me used to game. You on over 900 ping.
I mean, I still have a screenshot hanging around somewhere where I had 80,000 ping on Discord. So yeah,
Yep.
you want to
I
talk about pain?
oh yeah, the old systems where we were running like 5 to 10 FPS on a game, and now we're where we are, where we don't know why, we don't know how, we're just here and suffering mildly.
You know, one of the worst things about high ping as well, when you're playing those older games, say for example the Call of Duty games, where a player would host the lobby, like, you would just pick one at random,
Yep.
typically the one with the best connection. But that wasn't a solid system. Sometimes it would pick this guy who's, way over in the opposite side of the world, who's randomly in your lobby, and give him the host.
Yep.
So the entire lobby's on 9 billion ping, while this guy's running around just never getting shot because none of the bullets ever flipping register on his end.
Yep, exactly. It was insane those days. You know what though? I Seeing as we've like hit quite a bit on these weird topics we're discussing this week, this is all this is going to be for a week. It's just going to be us rambling and talking shit, and you know what? I'm all for it.
You know what though,
So
man? I would happily go back to those days of like some really laggy person getting host of the lobby, than having to deal with just the absurd amount of cheaters in literally every video game right now.
see, I don't think I've played many multiplayers this year. I've played bits and bats like Tarkov Arena and stuff like that, but for the most part, I've been sat playing co-ops or single players, shit like
I
that.
was
Just
I can't find any co-op games that I can like really get into. I want
Yeah,
one that I can grind for hours and hours and hours, like what I did with 7 Days to Die.
yeah.
I can't find anything like that I can put that much dedication and time into and have loads of fun continuously.
I mean, that's what we've been on about when it comes to VR co-op games. We're just waiting for something. But that's why we're tackling whatever the first co-op game to release next year is on VR.
Oh yeah, unless it looks absolutely awful or just something that we won't want to play, then
Yeah.
but hopefully it will be something in our
Yeah, in our
categories.
general vicinity.
But I can't think of the word, man.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I've been up since 10 a.m. playing Rust, and my brain is completely gone, man.
Mate, I've been up since 10 doing random shit all day, so I know what you mean. But I'd like to just cover something that I think will be interesting. Oh, and as soon as this will be the last episode, fuck you for spoken. That's all I have to say on that regard. I wanted to get it in before I finish the year. So, fuck you, I win. But there's been, I think, over this year, obviously it's not been a great year whatsoever.
Absolutely not. The games industry has done absolutely terrible this entire year.
Yeah. That's the feeling most people have. Obviously, there's quite a few that are going, it's been an amazing year. What are you on about? We got this. It's like, yeah, we got like 6 good games out of how many released?
It's been such a bad year, man. It's been
It
such
has.
a bad year.
It got to the point, me and a friend have decided to create, do you know the Half-Life Black Mesa game?
I know of it, yes.
Well, Half-Life 1 is its own game, but Black Mesa Definitive Edition is basically some modders who decided to remake Half-Life 1.
Okay.
And it's all up-to-date graphics and stuff. Me and a friend of mine decided, fuck it, there's nothing good to play. Why don't we just create a co-op server for that and just go mental? So I spent about 6 hours sorting that out. Why? Because 2023. That's why. That is the entire reason.
It's just been such an overall disappointment. Like, yes, there's been, when I say this, I mean it, a couple of really good games. And a couple is really the limit. But overall, like, if you put the ratio of, like, playable, I'm going to say as the versus category here, playable games versus games that you don't want to touch with a 10-yard pole. It's definitely not looking good for the playable games.
No. I mean,
especially AAA titles, man. How many of those did we see released this year that just were awful? That were like felt like they were low budget games, you know?
just spoken.
We got to give it to him. He's got exactly 16 hours left, or 30. Sorry, 16. Thinking at a time, man.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I mean, I've got to say something I didn't expect to say, and this was due to a friend of mine who has been obsessed with Starfield lately and mass playing it. So they've been sat playing it and they wanted help modding. So I helped them get a few mods sorted, they got it up and running, and the game was a lot more enjoyable for them. A lot more playable as well, to be honest, performance-wise. It doesn't hold up great, that game.
I can believe it.
I installed a total of 21 mods to fix some of my major complaints of that game. And I launched it up, I think it was last night, the night before. And I honestly had a really good time. So I'm going to continue with that at some point. So I'll probably actually finish Starfield some point next year. But the major thing is, I'm actually going to go back to it. Mainly because the modding community have done what the modding community always do with Bethesda games.
They fixed it.
Yeah, they did shit that made it enjoyable. I mean, I even picked up one of the most beloved co-op games out there, The Return of the Obra Dinn. And I started playing that. Just things such as this that I usually wouldn't buy when the sales are on. all of a sudden, yeah, I'm going mental. I'm picking up shit from years ago. I mean,
It's always nice to go back to the old games sometimes, especially the ones that you remember that you
oh,
haven't
100%.
played in over 10 years at this rate. It's because you know it's a good game. You know you're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean,
And it's
that's why.
also not £70.
Yes. See, I also bought that 6 Days in Fallujah recently.
Oh yeah, remember you talking about that one episode, or a couple
Mm.
episodes.
It was the game that had a lot of conflict about it, because obviously it's based on a bit of atrocity and a bit of war crime and other bits and bats, good fun. But I picked it up, and they've pushed out a massive update recently, and that was really enjoyable, but dear God, can they shit you up. Now, I thought, I've just been playing a tactical shooter, why not play another one that I've not played in ages, because it just pushed out its 1.0 update. So I picked up Ready or Not and started playing that again. 1.0 Ready or Not developers does not mean add a mechanic so that the enemy can suddenly boot doors down and just shoot me in the head and shit me up. Do not do that. I jumped out of my chair.
I mean, hey, if the player has the ability to do it, why can't the AI?
Apparently, yeah. Honestly, the 1.0 system for Ready or Not is phenomenal. The only thing they need to sort is their performance. Once they nail that down, that game will be golden for anyone who likes a good tactical shooter. But bits and bats like that, these smaller developed games, like AA games, they have done so well this year. Yet AAA have flopped across the board.
Obviously, this whole A crap, I don't even understand it anymore, man. I don't see the point in having it.
To be honest, mate, all it really identifies is, are you indie?
Yeah.
No.
Well,
Are
let's be
you...
honest, indie games have outperformed AAA games this year
Oh, 100%.
by an absolute long shot.
It's basically, are you indie with a very small team? Are you AA, which is a small company? Or are you AAA with a multi-million-dollar corporation behind you?
Putting millions into a game and outputting a steaming pile of shit.
Yep. And that is just a big thing, to be honest. It happens a lot. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to teach a bit of a little tech tip for people who PC game this week. Very simple one. It'll probably do your computer a world of good. It actually will, because you're unlikely to have done this. So I want you to do me a favour. Can you open your task manager for me? Go to Performance.
Yep.
And on your CPU, tell me what the uptime reads at the bottom.
Oh, it's only been up since I turned it on this morning. I unplugged my PC from the power source, so the uptake it's not still technically on.
Fantastic. So you're one of the
Come
people
on,
that
Rory, I'm
bypasses.
not that bad.
No, it's just if you shut down your PC normally, that doesn't take down the uptime,
Yeah,
as you probably realised.
Yeah, there's still power being fed into it. I would either have to go to the back of my PC, which is very annoying to get to, and flip the switch, or just, take the plug out, which is much easier.
Or you can just, change a setting on Windows and it'll shut it down properly.
That too.
Which is what I've done. And honest to God, my PC has ran so much better since that. Bloody hellfire.
The only time my uptime goes more than 24 hours, not that it even rarely gets to that, is if I've been up all night or left my PC on overnight.
Same. And that's because I'm downloading or installing. But yeah, if people do want to do that, you just
when
go
it
to...
comes to Steam, it's usually both, because it's it make you take 10 years. Whether you have a megabyte download speed or a gigabyte, it does not care.
It doesn't care about you anyways. I've never had an issue.
Fuck you.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Listen. Quiet you.
Yeah, if you do want to do that shutdown system though, go to Control Panel, System and Security, underneath power options, it will say change what the power buttons do. Click the change settings that are currently unavailable, and then click untick the turn on fast startup recommended box. Save that, and that will allow you to shut down your PC properly, which will then remove any cached information in your RAM and your hard drives, which will then clear up your system and prevent it from overrunning. Just a little tidbit.
An uptime of 700 hours.
Yeah, considering I spoke to a friend of mine just the other day, and they had an uptime of, I think it was 7.5 days
Jeez.
before I did it. And considering you know me, I'm very computer conscious.
Oh yes.
My uptime on mine, when I checked it before I sorted it all out, was 16.5 days.
Ooh. Wait, hang on. Are you telling me I knew about this and you didn't?
Oh no, I knew about it. I was just trying to find an easy way to get past it.
Well, I took mine out from the power source just so it's not drawing power full stop.
See,
as
mate.
well as, not having my PC permanently on.
You've seen my desk, mate. You know how much of a trouble it is to get under there.
Yeah, and I'm complaining about getting under my desk, and I've seen that monstrosity.
Hey, nothing wrong with my desk. And 2 laptops that are just sat there for work.
Yeah, nothing wrong at all.
No, not at all. What I will also add, I did pick up a new VR game recently. Ghosts of Tabor. I finally purchased it.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It's actually good.
Yeah. Again,
And-
I would have a similar deal with Tarkov with that game. I would just like to play it solo against bots.
Oh, they have the same system. It's just, it will not count to any progress. Blah, 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 blah. Fuck off, then.
Like, why is there not just a whole separate save log for it? Like,
Yeah.
It's like local. It doesn't even have to be their servers, Local save it.
Yeah. Or just make a co-op mode. But the game is fun. The guns actually feel okay. They feel nice to use. Everything works pretty well. Adding attachments to your vest, your helmet, your guns, all works real nice.
Listen, kind of outdo History VR though, where I can just keep putting a muzzle brake on a muzzle brake on a muzzle brake on a muzzle brake on a muzzle brake.
Of course it can't.
And then when you finally attach 50 muzzle brakes to your gun, and it spans 10 feet across the world, and you shoot, and the bullet just falls out of the end, just trickles out.
Doesn't even trickle out, does it? About halfway it gets stopped, so you got to lean the gun forward so it just tips out.
Bro, I gotta do that again. It's so funny.
Oh, that game, man. But VR games, I think... Do you know what's really bad to think? My favourite game of this year, genuinely, was Bonding Ambivalence.
Which wasn't even released this year.
Yeah, it wasn't even released this year, yet it was my most enjoyed game this year.
It doesn't feel right saying we played that this year. It feels so long ago.
It does. It feels genuinely like the last time I saw you was last year. Which in 2 days is right, but still.
Oh, haha.
But it just, the time feels like it's just gone by so weirdly. Even for this podcast, the things we've done this year doesn't feel like it's entirely in a whole year. We feel like we've passed the year mark a while back.
Yeah.
I think that's part of what's so bizarre.
Yeah, we're still 2 or 3 weeks before the channel's a year old as well.
Yeah. Which is even more bizarre because we took about 2 weeks off this year. And 52 weeks in a year. Yet somehow we're ending up 2 weeks, 3 weeks before the official date that is supposed to be a year.
Yep.
It's just doesn't add up. So realistically, if we would have, done those 2 weeks, this would be a year, even though it's not.
Well, no, you gotta remember, you ended up doing a couple short things. So you did.
Oh yeah, I did.
The 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure both of the weeks that I took a break, you still did a little short thing.
Yeah, I did a short thing once, I think. The other time, I don't think I did anything because I was a bit hectic that week myself. But No, I think if 2023 has taught us anything, genuinely, it's to take a look back at the games that made gaming enjoyable for us. Because without a lot of these games, where would gaming be? It wouldn't be anything it is now. The old Arma 2 games with the DayZ mod, the Assassin's Creed original games, bloody Batman Arkham games, Battlefields, Bioshock, Binding of Isaac, all these amazing games that we'll see here and there, but they're nowhere near as good nowadays. But looking back and playing the older games are phenomenal. I mean, one of my favourite games from Rockstar Games isn't even a GTA game or Red Dead Redemption. It's Bully.
That's a real old one.
It is, but I have it on Steam because I love to play it. It's phenomenal.
It's just because you're a big bully, Rory.
Alright, I told you not to say that on stream. Do I need to get the paddle out again?
Yeah, what the fuck?
I still remember back when I first got Steam, actually. You should probably remember something similar, Will. We didn't have much money when we first started PC gaming. So it was real basic games. Free to plays. Brain bread.
We were both broke as fuck.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean?
TF2, bloody brain bread, all that stuff. And that was what we played. Because that's what there was. But honestly, some nights of that, and that was all we'd spend as nights doing, they were some of the most enjoyable nights of gaming. Because you would just take the piss and have fun.
And things were just like the games were simple to understand and fun to play. You know, there was no, 500 keybinds to modify your weapon in 200 different ways. You know,
Yeah.
As cool as it is to see things like that, it sometimes is a bit much. And there's like, it feels like some games people are trying too hard to make them, and they're overlooking certain things and not giving other things enough attention.
Yeah. That's what I think as well. I think genuinely the games industry has hit a point now where they're more focused on where can we go from here in regards to the technological advancements rather than where can we go from here in making the game more enjoyable. How can we improve the story? What can we do better? It's just how can we advance the tech? How can we make the game more complex, more interesting mechanics-wise? You can have a good game that has got amazing mechanics with little to no story, and that will bring us back. Look at Postal. That's what brought many people to that game. It's got great mechanics, the story is awful, but the mechanics are amazing.
That's the thing that you can literally just jump on it, just go nuts, have fun, murder everyone, and jump off, and that's your day done.
Oh, 100%. And I'd happily do that. That can make a great game. But if you don't nail the reason you're doing it or the way you're doing it, it will destroy what you've built. And it will not take long to do. There are many games that have released this year, and there are very few that I actually recall because there wasn't anything that really gripped me. Hi-Fi Rush, I remember, because it came from nowhere, and it did amazing. Starfield, I remember, because I was quite disappointed, to be honest with you. Ghost Runner 2, I remember that because I absolutely love Ghost Runner, and the second one was a great game. But there wasn't much. I've just come across another game as well that me and Will used to play. It's an abysmal game, but we spent many hours on it together. Infestation.
Oh yeah, God.
The only problem with that game though was just the servers were.
The servers were abysmal.
Like the lag between players was so bad.
Oh yeah, we
Do
had
you
an
remember
entire
the
group of people on that.
Do you remember the disconnection problems we were constantly having?
Yep, I do. Get into a server, you play with each other for about like 15, 20 minutes. Next thing, oh, I've been disconnected.
Well, I can't move. I'm completely stuck. I move 2 feet to the left, I get stuck back.
Yep. But there was some great times to be had because you're just spending it with your friends, having a laugh while things are going on. And it's small things like that, just having a good time with friends. Now, I don't know whether it's the fact that I have less time now to talk with my friends than before that's making me like this, or whether it's because the games industry is just really dropped in quality. I'm putting my finger on the second one, but I could be wrong. But now, there is so much more that could be done. One game I do definitely remember from this year, and it's because it was made by a AA team, and I absolutely loved it. RoboCop. I'm a massive fan of the RoboCop films, so picking that up and finding out, yeah, it's literally just continuation from the first film going on to in between the first and second film. It was amazing to play. Every bit of it was just great fun, and it dragged me through all the way to the end. It had some issues with the story, and some of the mechanics felt a bit but it was the
No game.
overall experience. Yeah, exactly. But the overall experience was
I,
phenomenal.
when I say no game can be perfect, that's not an excuse for this year.
No, it's not.
That's too much imperfection, you know?
Oh, too true. See, a friend of mine and me used to have a yearly Halloween stream. And every time we did this stream, we used to play a very old game whenever we played. And it was Sir You Are Being Hunted. I don't know if you ever played that or remember it.
Not really.
It's very, very clunky, very weird. It's like a dystopian village in England, and they're all robots trying to hunt you down. And you've got to find pieces to get to create a teleporter to get back. We've only completed this once, I think, in every year we've played it. And we play for like 2.5 hours. But it's still to this day one of my more enjoyable experiences, sitting and just playing for a couple hours. Or an old classic game, Sleeping Dogs. That game has some amazing mechanics, and the story was fantastic. But you just don't see the same love and care being thrown into a lot of this nowadays. And I think that is the major problem. The care that developers want to put into a game, whether it's there or whether it's not. Look at Stardew Valley. The love and care that guy's put into that game is insane. But you look at other games and there's none of that. There's none of that community spirit either. And that's where I feel it's lacking.
That's honestly a massive problem with like, games currently, old and new, is the communities are just they've gone to shit, man. A lot of them are terrible now.
I fully agree. You know, there's this YouTuber I watch from time to time. Can't remember his name, but he runs a series of videos, and basically what he does is he goes and buys or joins old games. And I'm talking a game I had when I first started on Steam called Empires. Completely free. And it's like a mod for a Valve game or something. I don't know the details. But I used to play it quite a bit, and there was a large community back then. There's now about 50 people left in this community. And once a week, they sit and they play a game full together. And that's 50 people in that community. Apparently, he got his followers to jump on a session with him. They had about 20 people. Due to this, a lot of the regulars thought, oh, I must have missed an announcement, and jumped on. he ended up being taught how to play the game by these by these regular players that still play the game many years later. Reason being, they care about that community and they want to see it come back. Because a lot of them have a lot of heart for the game. They have a lot of love for it. They want to keep it going, but you don't see it now. It's not a thing. And it makes me so sad. It really does.
Yeah, and that's just what's happening to a lot of communities, more and more of them.
I'm not being
everyone like slowly leaves because like it's just the way it is, you know, life goes on, or the community goes from all fun and games to everyone starts turning toxic.
Yep. I'm not being funny, mate. When Rust starts to drop off, I can't see that game's community lasting.
Oh, what do you mean? The community is horrible at the minute, mate. Don't get me wrong. It's always there's always been a lot of awfulness in it, but like it used to be pretty good. You know, you could find. I used to play with a lot of randoms. So see now, man, most people they're just like the things you hear them come off with over like the stupidest little things. It is wild.
I'm not even surprised.
It's just like you're sitting here playing a video game, like you're meant to be having fun with your friends, taking the piss, not screaming obscenities and slurs at everyone you come across just because you lost a gunfight.
I mean, I scream obscenities and slurs at people, but that's nothing to do with gunfights.
Alright,
Rory. You do the same. Don't start.
Yeah, over memes, not because someone shot me and I died.
Oh no, it's just because you know me. That's what it is. He just hates me. That's the problem here.
Exactly.
But now, this has been a weird episode. Most definitely. One of the weirdest we've had because it's just been like loads of us rambling. But I genuinely hold a lot of hope that in 2024 the games industry massively picks up the slack that it's created and hopefully fixes a lot of the problems we have.
Hey man, like we said, maybe it's just this year, you know?
Yeah, maybe it's cursed. Indiana Jones film came out, so maybe he started another curse.
Oh god.
I mean, it's possible. But no, honestly, it's been a weird year because on one hand, I have absolutely loved every minute of making this podcast and talking with Will every week about weird shit that's going on and having a laugh, having some fun with it. It's been great. Yeah. It's been a great year in that regard. But on the other hand, seeing the games industry go down the toilet has been so disheartening.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's been hard to watch.
And I think the reason we've got through it is mainly because we're just talking shit. Otherwise, we would probably just be sat there with his heads in his hands like, what the hell is going on?
It happens more often than I care to admit.
Yeah, same. But what we can hope for is a better year moving forwards. One that, fingers crossed, will improve, not just for the game industry, but also for the people who play the games, the communities, the many people that keep the wheels turning. And hopefully we don't have another Bungie year where they're just going to let people go 5 times out of the year. Which I would like to just add, considering I saw this the other day on the news, considering that Steam and Valve are getting into a lot of flack because of, what is it now? Their 30% cut that they take on sales. Considering this, you'd have thought they would be the type of people that are going to have to make cuts. Yet they're one of the few people in the games industry who haven't.
Yeah.
Make it make sense. Actually, make this year make sense.
Yes,
Fucking hell.
please. That would be nice. Thank you.
If you can translate or just like pass us some information, that'd be fantastic. Maybe the cliff notes for next year. Tell me whether I'm like worth sticking around, or whether I should just pack in and just move to, I don't know, some island in the Caribbean.
Take me with you.
Yeah, we'll just disappear. If you hear about some like
we did talk
pirates,
about living on a rock.
yeah, if anyone hears about some pirates in like 6 years' time living off a little rock island, don't worry about it.
Rory.
Yeah.
You know Tarkov.
Yeah.
You know the map that's like one of the newer ones where it's just
Streets of Tarkov.
Yeah. Do you know in one of the places there's two pigs on a table fucking?
No, I didn't. But
Still
that
toy
does not
pigs, and
surprise me.
one is definitely mounted the other.
That does not surprise me in the slightest.
Uh,
The thing is, you see some companies like Tarkov, where you can see they've got a lot of love and care for the game, and they're doing their best to make it as good as they can in the style that they're wanting. It's just not a game that me and Will particularly like, shall we say.
definitely don't care for it, if that's what you're asking.
Exactly. But I think, to be honest, that's all I can really add. That I know this has been a complete bloody ramble, but yeah, that's the weirdness to end the year. A bizarre discussion about just pure and utter bafflement. Why?
Yeah.
Because we can.
Yep. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
This is the reason we're here.
100%. We do this because we can do this, and because we have friends, I guess. Something like that.
We have
I
what?
don't know. I don't know. I'm making lies up to make friends, apparently.
I need to search the definition of that word. Give me a sec.
No worries. Just get back to me when you've found the definition.
Don't think there's one.
Shit.
I think we've been lied to, Roy.
Bollocks. Not again. But you know what? Just before we do end this, Will, take a look at a game on Steam called One-Armed Robber. Not joking. This game looks better than Payday 3.
God. It's free too.
Yes.
One-armed cook as well. One-armed bandit.
I'm sharing my screen. This is the first time I've done it all episode. But this game
All
looks...
I'm saying, that guy's a panda head on.
Yeah. This game looks more enjoyable than it has a right to.
Bro, some of those places look very familiar.
Yeah, they do, don't they?
I love the lockpicking mechanic.
Jiggle the lock. Just kill them all in the van.
That's brilliant.
It looks so stupid, but at the same time so great.
It actually does look pretty funny.
That game's now in my library. I am installing that. 900 meg, I'm not surprised somehow. So,
Oh look, it's the jewelry store mission.
Just to give some context, that has 87% positive out of 5,617 reviews. And I'm not checking for spoken. I'm going to Payday 3 instead, which is currently sat at... Open, please. You're taking the piss now, Steam. Thank you. 41% positive out of 35,831. Okay, I guess we'll do for spoken. Last time of the year. 62% positive out of 4,332 reviews.
Jesus.
It deserves its low rating. It also deserves the top place in that fucking list we made last week. Why? Because fuck for spoken. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
But no, that is all I've really got. Unless you have anything you'd like to add?
Nothing I can think of, sir.
Like I said, it's been a very weird week. But, fingers crossed, the first week of the new year we will get something big and juicy to sink his teeth into.
Absolutely.
If not, I'm going to think of something random to do. So, we'll see how weird it gets next week. So, thank you all for watching. From both of us at PandTha Talks, thank you for your support throughout the last year. It's been an amazing year for us. We've had a
It's
good
been
time.
one hell of a ride too.
Oh,
Really
100%.
fun and enjoyable and a great experience.
He said he's making it sound as though he's going to drop off the face of the earth after tomorrow.
Precisely.
Hey,
Dude,
you're
didn't I
stuck
tell
with
you
me,
I
bitch.
found the edge of the world, dude. I'm gonna jump off it. See what.
Why didn't you invite me?
Because you'd be a weirdo and bring a parachute.
No, I wouldn't. That's boring. I'd try with a plastic bag.
No, you bring a parachute, you hand it to you, yeah, go jump, and then I pull the parachute and there'd be holes in it. I'd be like, you bastard!
No, I'd try jumping with a plastic bag. That'll catch the wind, right?
I think you'll have more luck with an umbrella, mate.
Why not both? Plastic bag in one hand, fucking umbrella in the other.
Because that's cheating.
Oh, okay.
You're
But
one
no.
on bandit, you're only allowed one.
Ah, shit. Got you. That makes all the sense. But yeah, thank you all for a great year. And we'll see you all in 2024. And fingers crossed, it will be much better than this.
I pray.
See you all next time, guys. Bye for now.
Have a good one, guys. See yous.